Stay tuned and let's take a look at these Marvel Legends Spider-Man Retro Series, J. Jonah Jameson and Black Cat. Pow and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And today I have a 2-in-1 review for you, as I just love this retro packaging so much. It is, of course, the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Retro Series, J. Jonah Jameson and Felicia Hardy, aka Black Cat. Now, as I said, this retro packaging hits me right in the feels, as it reminds me why I love Marvel in the first place. It takes me back to those 90s animated shows that I grew up on, and I love Spider-Man. I think I preferred Spider-Man to X-Men. I know, controversial, but that's just where my mind takes me. And yeah, I had these figures as a kid, so it's great now as a full-grown man I can relive some happy memories of my childhood. And I'll buy 2 of these, one to open up, of course, and then one to display. So I'm building a nice little collage on my wall now, so long may this line continue. And I like that they're giving us some upgrades to some iconic Spider-Man characters. You can't think of J. Jonah Jameson and Black Cat without thinking of Spider-Man, so they are perfect choices for this card. Now, J. Jonah has never been single packed before. We did get an unmasked, I say unmasked, he's never masked, but you know what I'm saying. We did get a J. Jonah head previously with the Chameleon in the Rhino Build-A-Figure wave in about 2015, and a lot of people have been doing kit bashes with Claw as well, so it's nice to just get a straight up J. Jonah Jameson without having to kit bash on its own, which is happy about. And then Black Cat, we have had a couple of times before. We got a classic version in the Ultimate Green Goblin wave way back when, and then more recently we got a more modernized Black Cat. So I like how this one takes it back to a sort of classic look and design, and it's definitely an upgrade to the previous version as well. He even comes with a little Black Cat accessory, which I'm not even sure she had in the comics. I think they've just whacked it in there, but why not? It's Black Cat after all. So here they are on this glorious packaging with the Spider-Man, and they both get their little comic image on the side. And J. Jonah says he comes with the Daily Bugle, and Black Cat says includes cat and a whip. So let's spin them around and you'll see that trademark old school sort of silhouette stencil from the old card backs of the 90s Toy Biz figures, which is a nice throwback. And both of them come with lengthy read-ups, so let's do it. So the first one, let's read J. Jonah Jameson. Tough, gruff and loud, J. Jonah Jameson is a force to be reckoned with in the boardroom and on the front pages of the Daily Bugle. As the newspaper's editor-in-chief, Jameson is a preliminary thorn in the side of both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Black Cat's reads, Black Cat is the most confident, cunning burglar the world has ever seen. Donning a black costume and mask, heiress Felicia Hardy changes into a superhero persona and prowls the streets with Spider-Man at her side. So there you have it, both of them looking very nice. Happy to add these guys to the collection. Always sad to open these up, but as I said, that's why you buy 2, if you can, of course. So without further ado, let's get them open. So here we have JJ and Felicia out of the packaging, and again, they look very nice. So they both come with a few accessories, but of course we're going to do full comparisons compared to their previous releases as well. So let's get straight into it, and let's start off with Triple J himself, J. Jonah Jameson. Taking a closer look at Jameson, you can see it's the same wonky moustache that we got with the previous version of J. Jonah. So as I've mentioned already, the only way to get J. Jonah in the sort of updated Hasbro era was to get Chameleon from the Rhino Build-A-Figure wave, and he came with 3 heads, Hammerhead and J. Jonah Jameson. So if you had him, you could pop on this head and create a J. Jonah, but it is the same head sculpt. So all these years later, we're getting the same head sculpt, but with an updated paint job. Now, granted, the paint job is better. You can see it's sort of white hair, darker, sort of black. The eyes are better painted. The mouth is better painted, but it is the same head sculpt. So I don't know how well it will focus for me if I zoom in, but there's the new one, obviously. There's the old one. Side by side, you can see the new one's an upgrade, but it's the same head sculpt. So I just think it's a missed opportunity. Hasbro could have gave us a different facial expression maybe. It's definitely for someone as animated as J. Jonah, a different head sculpt would have been good. But it works. If you're going to get one head sculpt, then this one works. Sort of in the between angry and shouting as you would expect JJ to be. So now we've got Jay as his own figure. We're getting in this reuse of the claw body, which is a very nice reuse. As I said, people have been kit bashing it themselves anyway. This tie is a bit more loose and frail. The jacket's a separate piece. So if you wanted to, you could take off this jacket and just have the white shirt and the tie, which is a look that I think I'm going to prefer. So I'll try that in a minute. But other than that, as I said, it is the claw body with this jacket on top. I think this is a new jacket piece and a new tie piece, but again, I could be wrong. But again, the reuse on the arms definitely seems to be claw, and it works all the way down to the trousers. So as I said, there's the modern Jay and there's the previous one you would have had. So obviously the new one is going to be a better version of J. Jonah, but maybe you prefer him in a full suit, who knows. But I do want to just take off that jacket, see if it works. And yes, you can take off the waistcoat. There it is right there. And it works as sort of a rolled up shirt with a tie. So I could definitely see J. Jonah in the sort of offices shouting at people with his rolled up shirt, all frustrated and angry. And yeah, I think that's a good look for J. Jonah. And again, the trousers are just a normal Marvel Legends suited body. Doesn't have any issues standing. So yeah, this is looking good. It's nice to have a character like J. Jonah, more of a civilian character. That is very important to Spider-Man, of course, on the shelf. So I'll keep him like this as we go through the accessories. So he comes with two hands on already, of course, one fisted hand and one sort of gripping hand. And we could use that gripping hand to hold one of his accessories, which is, of course, the Daily Bugle. Now, it might not focus for me, but I promise you it's the Daily Bugle newspaper all rolled up. And you can literally get J. Jonah gripping that. And now we can bash someone over the head with his newspaper. So yeah, Daily Bugle, J. Jonah, perfect. Other hand is a pointing hand. So if I pop that out, oh no, it's the other hand that needs to be popped out. So you can put the pointing hand there, a gripping hand there. So now you just switched up the gripping hand, and now we can point with that hand. So if I take the newspaper out of that, you can just switch it around. So now we can hold the newspaper in that hand and then point with that one, which is a perfect little pose for J. Jonah, I think. So yeah, I'll probably have him on the shelf like this to some regard. But yeah. He also comes packed with an actual Daily Bugle with tons of little Easter eggs on there. So I'm not going to go through them all. Obviously, I'll save it for when you get your own. But straight away, you can see Daily Bugle, Spider Sham, Masked Menace. You got Cat Burglar at large. Mysterio is back behind bars. Wilson Fisk, Oscorp. And then behind here, there's a whole write-up on Electro and Spider-Bug sighting. So yeah, that's a very nice piece. And if you get J. Jonah back in the mix with both of his gripping hands, you can actually get him holding the newspaper and it looks like he's reading it. So yeah, that works out very nicely. So yeah, now you can get J. Jonah reading the paper, and as I said, you might not want to bend it or whatever, or maybe you want to keep it nice and neat. But yeah, now you can get J. Jonah reading his front page. But yeah, very nice. So as a single packed figure with some accessories, J. Jonah comes with the right ones, let's be honest. So yeah, so far, so good. And just to round up with a full-length comparison compared to the previous J. Jonah, well, Chameleon that we got, here's the suited Marvel Legends body, and then here's J. Jonah. So he actually stands up a lot easier than a suited body. I don't know why, but he does. And I do think this guy is an obvious upgrade, including the head sculpt, better painted. It's not as glossy, and yeah, not bad. See what I mean? These guys fall over all the time, but no complaints so far with this J. Jonah. Moving on to Felicia, and I definitely think this is the best head sculpt we've got so far for Black Cat. I like the pink glossy lips and the purple eyeshadow, and the face just looks much nicer than the previous versions. The hair is nicely sculpted, all white of course with some dark wash on it, and I do think it's a new sculpt, so I could be wrong, but it looks new to me. Definitely a very nice head, and you can see that she's sort of got like a nice collar in there as well, like with one of those sort of goth collars. I don't know if goth still exists, but you know what I'm talking about. And of course, her outfit is all black. It's an all black cat suit, so no sculpted detail, just all black. She is a cat burglar after all. And if I move down to the legs, first thing you'll notice, no heels, so much easier to stand, which a lot of people are going to be very happy about. The other one is constantly falling over on my shelf. She's still got the fluffy sort of fur cuffs though, with some wash in there, so they do stand out, nicely sculpted. Same on the wrists, well, on the forearms I sort of guess they are, but still, she's got just one set of hands, but they are like the clawed sort of cat hands. Again, a white background, white figure, probably not the best way to show it off, but you get what I'm saying. Second hand, she will grip her whip, no problem at all. And the whip is the same as what we've seen before. Black handle, white whip, And then she's got this sort of silver tassel at the end. So yeah, not bad at all. And as I said, she will hold that no problem at all. But yeah, very nice sort of update to the classic Black Cat look. And of course, I'll do a full comparison in a minute. But her other accessory is an actual black cat. Now, I don't think Black Cat had a black cat in the comics or the cartoon, but still, it's just an easy repaint for Hasbro, so why not? Nice little gimmick. Black Cat comes with a black cat, and it is a straight up repaint of Goose, the cat that came with the MCU Captain Marvel. He's called Chewie in the comics, but in the MCU he's called Goose. But yeah, now we got a straight up repaint. So now we've got 2 cats for our shelf. Okay, so this is probably the best way to do a comparison. Just get them both on screen, side by side. So this version here is from the Ultimate Green Goblin wave in about 2014. So a while ago now. And you can see that it's a lot bluer and it definitely stands out a lot more now compared to this new one. How they used a light blue tone sort of wash over the hair to try and bring out the sculpt, which doesn't work as well as the grey in my opinion. It looks so blue now compared to this new one. But the body was very nice, I have to admit. Definitely something they probably won't do these days. As you can imagine, I don't need to explain why, but no complaints from me. But it's the same sort of design. She's sort of got the furry cuffs on the forearms and then again down on the shoes. But as I said, she's wearing tiny little heels on the previous one, and this time now she's wearing flat shoes so she can stand a lot easier. So you can see how it's the same sort of figure, but just with a few tweaks and upgrades. And as I said, the head sculpt on the old one wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. I like the green eyes, I like the skin tone, but the skin tone didn't really match the flesh of the skin. And I do think this new one's just a lot better. More modernised, definitely fits more in with the current Hasbro figures compared to the previous one. But the previous one wasn't bad. It did well, lasted on the shelf for a while. I prefer this one to the more modernised version, which I can sort of get now if you want me to. So here's the modernised version that we got very recently. Very smiley Felicia Hardy there in a sort of modern Black Cat uniform. So I'm just curious if we can do a head swap with these. Okay, to answer my own question, no, you can't. The sort of new head does pop on this modernised uniform, but the skin tones don't match. But you might be able to get it to work if that's what you want, but it doesn't look that great. This looks terrible. The head sculpt just doesn't fit on properly. The hair sculpt is all wrong. It looks like she's got no neck. Yeah, something is desperately wrong with this look. So no head swapping from me. And let's finish up on a full-length comparison of all the Black Cats we've got. So obviously, the oldest Black Cat is the tallest, as she was wearing the heels. And as I said, she's very difficult to stand. I liked this figure. It held up in the collection for a long time. But I do think this new retro version is a definite upgrade and fits into your modernised, sort of modern Hasbro era collection a lot better. If you prefer the black whip, then you can definitely swap out the whips if you don't like the white one. But yeah, that's probably all you can do. Definitely no head swapping with these two. And then the modernised version, again, definitely a modernised outfit that I'm not familiar with. I get it though, she's wearing the sort of whip as a belt and you can see the cat's eyes and she's got the furry collar. I don't hate it, but it's not my mind's eye version of Black Cat. So yeah, I do think the obvious winner is this brand new retro Black Cat. Here we have Felicia compared to a couple of other women in Peter Parker's life with Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane. Here we have some more women from Peter's life. We have Cindy Moon Silk and Silver Sable over here. Let's be honest, Peter Parker is a lucky man. And talking about Peter Parker, here we have the man himself. Obviously, retro Peter Parker. I just changed the head because I really don't like those glasses on the overhead. And then here we have retro Spider-Man, possibly one of the best Marvel Legends of 2020. So let me just take Black Cat out for a minute and bring in J. Jonah, as we never really compared J. Jonah to anybody. So there is J. Jonah next to Peter Parker and Spider-Man. So final thoughts, these are some must-get figures, in my opinion, if you are a Spider-Man fan. Whether it's the movies, the TV show, the cartoons, the video games, J. Jonah Jameson and Black Cat are two iconic characters in the Spider-Verse and are definitely worthy of being on your shelf. And these are the best versions of each character in figure form. In my opinion, you ain't getting a better J. Jonah than that one there. And there's lots of different display options with interchangeable hands. You can take the jacket off if you want to. And of course, that is the best looking Black Cat in a classic look as well in figure form, in my opinion. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but these are my favourite versions of both of these characters in figure form for sure. So as always, people, as I said, let me know what you think in the comments below. But you want to see more reviews, then you can do that on the videos tab. Find the playlists, but most importantly, please, 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 hit that subscribe button. If you are in a position to support the channel, you can do that on Patreon. Thank you very much. Links in the description below. And you can also tweet me at It's Dan Who on Twitter. Much appreciated. But until next time, people, my name is Dan W. Keep buying these retro figures. Hasbro, keep making them. And I will see you on the next one.